Hey everybody, welcome to Probate Data live class. Hope you guys are doing well. Let me turn on the chat here. Boop. There we go. Hope you guys are good. And we'll be ready to go. Get my screen set up, dashboard, get ready for showtime. All right, so we're being recorded. We're going to be on our best behavior, right? And what I'd like to do today is, wow, Deborah's back. Deborah Wiley. I think we're just going to pick Deborah's brain for 30 minutes. John King is here. Wow, that would be great. See a lot of known names, a lot of new names. This is awesome, guys. Good stuff. Um, I think we're going to do a little bit of open office hours today. Like, ask me anything, kind of anything goes. I'll do a 5 minute intro and a little reminder why you guys are in this market, what probate real estate is all about, and how probate data can help you. And then maybe you guys can start thinking about what you want to know more. Like, is there a feature you want me to show you? Is there a search you want me to go over? Is there a question you have? Is there a question about probate data, about probate leads, about probate real estate? Pretty much anything goes today. So first things first, let's do a quick sanity check here and sound check. Can you guys hear and see me? In the chat, just say yes. And obviously, if you can't hear me, you wouldn't hear this request. So you can't put anything. All right. So Shannon's telling me yes. Anyone else besides Shannon? Maybe only Shannon can do lip reading. Anyone else? All right, Deborah. There we go. Good to have you back. Deborah's been with us for, I don't know, 12 years or so. It's great to have you here. This is wonderful. So we're gonna get started. And basically, I want to do a quick recap here. And I see Rose Pierre, you have your hand raised. That's great. We're going to get you started as well. I thought about something the other day, and I wrote a blog post about it. It's on Probate Data if you go into blogs. And I did some research, and I noticed that on average, homeowners as they move, they sell kind of every 10 years or so. And according to the NAR, it used to be that homeowners, like regular homeowners, like 7 to 8% of them sell within 12 months. But recently it's more down to 5%. So like the regular homeowner market, they're not selling. And another interesting coincidence that I saw was that, 10 years ago, interest rates were like 2, 3%, somewhere around there, maybe four at most. They were really low, really great. Everyone bought homes, everyone refinanced. It was great. Today, rates are closer to what, 6 or 7, so they could be like three, maybe four times the rates that a homeowner is sitting on right now. So even if a homeowner is considering selling to right size, downsize, or upsize, whatever the case may be, right? Because homeowners, regular homeowners, as we know, they have different reasons for selling. They might relocate for a job. They might right size because they have a growing family. They might downsize because the kids are off to college. They might want to move closer to their in-laws. They want to move further away from the in-laws, like whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, they're looking at like a 2% mortgage versus a 6% mortgage. And they're scratching their heads like, do we really need to sell? Could we rent it out? Could we find another way? Do we want that overhead right now of a higher mortgage? So I just thought I'd bring that up because we always say there's plenty of inventory and plenty of motivation in probate real estate. This is just another one, right? Another layer of motivation why probate always outperforms regular markets in terms of days on market and inventory turnover. Because as you also know, probate listings are usually 90 days. So I'm preaching to the choir here, but it doesn't hurt to kind of repeat some of the key selling points why probate always works better than a regular market when it comes to the two biggest obstacles that real estate agents and investors, but especially real estate agents, have been facing, as far as I can tell, for the last 14 years in the 3 or 4 different markets I've been involved with. Whether the market's up, down, sideways, or going in circles, real estate agents always want two things. They want inventory and they want motivated sellers, right? And probate solves that. The latest statistics shows us that $85 trillion will go through probate by 2045. We know the trends, the huge tsunami of wealth transfer that's happening. It's not on the MLS, it's not on foreclosures, it's not on short sales. It's happening pre-MLS, off market, in the courthouses, in probate, and for you guys right in front of your nose, thanks to probate data. So I just thought I should sell the benefit of probate data just a little bit more before we dive into some Q&A. Let's see. What questions are there out there? And maybe just you want to celebrate something. I know, John, you probably got some listings you want to celebrate or some wins you want to celebrate. Deborah, we haven't heard from you for a while. You've been with us for a long time. We'd love to hear from you. So if you have a question, a challenge, or a win you want to celebrate with the rest of us, now is the time to do it. And I want this to be a lively, fun, interactive discussion. And go ahead, just raise your hand. Here we go, John King. I can always count on you. Lynn also afterwards, and I'll bring you in. John, go ahead, unmute yourself.
So anyway, I've been blessed to be part of Probate Data. That's for sure. It's definitely changed my business around. In fact, I got tied up purchasing, a half dozen of them throughout the years, and now I got a couple more rehabs we're doing. But I agree with you 110%. The market is changing a little bit. Some people are keeping them uh, longer, or family members are staying there. But I do see the transfer in wealth. I do see the probate and the senior industry as a motivation. And I just want to say thank you guys for, pointing my real estate career in a great trajectory.
You're most welcome, John, and thanks for always being positive and showing up and celebrating your wins with us. I know you've been very successful in probate, and I'm sure you're successful in other real estate areas as well. But it's always good to hear from you. Thanks for the feedback and thanks for the heads. So I'm glad to see that you are confirming my what should I say my research here. All right, let's see. Next one is Lynn. Go ahead, and then it's Deborah. Lynn, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
There we go. Hi, Jonathan. I am very thankful that I can be on board here. I've had some health issues. I just turned 75 this year. So one of the reasons I like doing probate is I do referrals to other agencies and agents like in Florida and up here. I haven't had a lot of success in them wanting to actually take action in doing the work. And I'm having problems with trying to funnel how to get to my UPLC website.
Hmm.
And I'd like you to give me some tips on how to funnel. What do I do? Do we pay Facebook by the pennies or what? That's one thing. And the other thing I'd like you to touch on is the cash advance. Is that San Francisco company still doing cash advances?
Is this for the cash advance for rehabbing or cash advance for the inheritance?
For the inheritance.
So you're talking about inheritance funding? Is that the company?
Yes. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fun.
they're still in business. In fact, I was just in touch with them not too long ago. They're doing really well. If you have any cases that you want to work with, or you want to like broker referral fee for referring them the business, they're happy to pay a referral fee. So it's inheritancefunding.com. For those of you that are not familiar with this, when inheritors or beneficiaries they go through probate, they might have to wait, 12 or 18 months or longer to get their fair share. Let's say if you're looking to inherit, $200,000 when everything's said and done. Sometimes they don't want to wait that long. And companies like Inheritance Funding, they will pre-fund their part. They basically say, okay, you're gonna get 200,000 in 12 months. Here's 180,000 up front, or 10,000 or 50,000, whatever the case may be. And then inheritance funding becomes part of the probate process, and then they get paid back out of the probate, and they get some percentage on it, some interest payments. So yeah, they're still around.
I wanted
As
to
for
mention,
Yeah,
Jonathan, that
yeah,
I am a broker for them. You can, as an agent, sign a contract with them. It is outside the scope of your real estate practice
yeah.
because you don't need to be a licensed real estate agent to work with them. So it's a little side hustle business that I think a lot of probate agents should really consider trying to capitalize on it. You just sign a little contract with them, and they call it being a broker for them. You don't take any testing or anything. You just agree to the
Yeah.
terms.
You're just
And
a referral source, basically.
right,
And,
and his
and
name is Ian Cooper, and
yeah,
he's very good about. I asked him about market conditions, like what are some of the better markets, and he did discuss that too. If anybody's interested in talking to him at all,
yeah,
and
Ian's a great guy.
it's our manual. The information is in our training manual.
That's correct. Yeah. So if you guys are with CPress, so we have to keep in mind that not everyone is with CPress. We have, over the last few months, we've had a lot of people join from different areas, certified, non-certified agents, and real investors as well. So those of you that are in CPress program, there's a page in there on inheritance funding. Just real quick, what Lynn brought up, as you're reaching out to these, probate sellers, you're reaching out with them to like help them be able to help them with a whole suite of things. So this is kind of a good segue into this UPLC, which is the ultimate probate lead converter. That's kind of the done for you website and all that NTI builds for you. So if you have another feather in your hat, so to speak, with like we can help you, with your beneficiaries. They can get pre-funded, they can get cash out of it before probate even settles. It's another thing that benefits the people who are going through probate. So, so let me use that as a segue into your question in terms of like what do I do with these leads? How do I get them into UPLC? So side note, I'm not going to turn this into a UPLC support call, but I'll just briefly mention what it is. UPLC is a done for you website and email sequence follow up for anyone that opts in. And it's basically they write, this is part of MT Education, they write like an ebook on your behalf. There's 21 weeks of email follow up. There's a website. It really brings out the kind of expertise and authority of your designation as a CPRES. So Lynn's question is like, how do I get them in there? Do I pay Facebook to drive traffic? No. You don't need to spend any money on Facebook at all, any advertising, because you have probate data. Remember, guys, the moment someone files for probate is the moment they need to move forward. Whether grandpa passed away 5 days, 5 years, 5 months, or 10 years ago, it doesn't matter when they pass away. It matters when they filed. And the reason they're filing, remember this, guys, is because they have to. They have to pay down debt. They have to settle the beneficiaries. They have to pay off inheritors and all that. So they have to do all that. So they have to file for probate. So once they file for probate, that is the motivation. I talked about two things before, which is inventory and motivation. So the $85 trillion that are going through probate by 2045, that's the inventory part. The motivation part is they filed. The fact that they filed, that's all you need to know. So Lynn and anyone else who's looking to generate some kind of interest, whether they have UPLC, they have a website, they have a phone number they want people to call, just reach out to them. And this is a perfect segue. I'm going to bring Deborah in a little bit, Deborah Wiley, because I know Deborah has a really good rhythm of how she reaches out and how she does mailers and how she does calls. And she's been very successful at this. And so don't spend time or money or waste time or money on ads or Facebook because you have the leads with probate data. You have a phone number, you have an email address. Now all you got to do is prospect, Lynn. Remember, the number one differentiator between probate and the regular market is the number one differentiator is motivation. Look, NAR say 5% of homeowners will sell within 12 months. Why? Because there's a life transition happening, right? Right sizing, downsizing, upsizing, something's happening, relocation, whatever the situation may be. So the name of the game is for real estate agents is to keep marketing to those 1,000 homes in their farm with letters, with door knocks, with hangers, with networking, with phone calls, and just keep reminding them that, hey, I'm here in case you're one of those 5%. I don't know who they are, but I'm going to keep fishing and find those 5%. So when they are ready to sell, hopefully they'll remember me, right? That's the game plan and the regular home seller market. In probate, we know that 90% will sell within 12 months, and usually majority of them within 4 months of filing for probate and when there's real estate. So let me ask you, if we went fishing and we had two ponds to go fishing in, if we went fishing where there's 5 fish or where there's 90 fish, and you're using the same bait and you're throwing the same hook out, where will you be more successful? Where there's 90 fish, right? So again, let's break it down to business sense. You are spending money on marketing. You're spending time on door knocking. You're spending time on calling. You're spending time and money and reaching out. And you're trying to find those 5% that are going to sell this year. in your regular farm. Versus probate, and you get a list every week or every other week with probate data. Or you can log in if you're bored, you log into probate data, you do some historical prospecting, show me everything the last 4 months that hasn't sold yet. I have a phone number, I have an email address. Boom, you're in business. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Joe, come on in.
How you doing, Jonathan?
What's up, Joe? How are you?
All right. I had gotten a list, and one of the clients on there had, letters of administration, but the property, she didn't know anything about it.
Hmm.
So I was trying to figure out how this was processed, and that property got added to her file, and she didn't even know anything about this particular house.
Hmm. Is this where the decedent lived, or passed
No,
away?
no, no. Yeah, the decedent lived there,
Yeah.
and the personal representative doesn't know anything about this house.
So what'd you do?
This just happened 2 days ago.
So what'd you
I
do?
emailed support to it's in Florida and I'm in Pennsylvania.
Hmm. So
So
what did you do?
I'm trying to locate the actual register of wills down there to find out what's going on. Because
And
I
then
mean
what?
it's a shell. I wouldn't mind buying it,
And
you
is
know.
the property is in the name of the decedent?
Yep. It's in the
Okay.
name of the decedent,
And it's going through
and
probate?
the daughter's name is the same last name, and it's listed, with the decedent's address. But the
Hmm.
daughter says she didn't know anything about that house.
Okay. So you want to lock up that property and buy it yourself?
Say that again, Jonathan.
You want to buy that property yourself?
Yeah,
All right, just make
yeah.
her an offer.
But Jonathan, when she filed for probate, it wasn't on the list. That's what
So
I'm
how did you,
saying.
how did, okay, okay, I got you now. So how did you find out about this?
You guys sent me the lead,
Then it was filed. Then
but
if,
she doesn't know any. In other words, when you file for probate, whatever amount of properties that you have, she did this pro se. So whatever amount of properties that you
and per
have
se, yeah, yeah,
gets
okay.
added to the list.
Okay,
She didn't know anything about it.
give me the case number.
That I don't have in front of me.
Do you
I
have the
just
name?
Yeah, the name the decedent is Christopher Davis,
What
and the young
county?
lady's name is I said Florida. I meant Baltimore, and
Ah,
the
okay.
young lady's name is Monique Davis.
So Baltimore, right?
Yeah, I didn't mean Florida.
All right, Baltimore County or Baltimore City County? Or Montgomery or Prince George? Do you know any of those?
It's Baltimore City. It's 21217 zip code.
All right, hold on. Let's get to the bottom of this. Let's do some real-time digging here. Let's see. I'm going to share my screen as soon as I look smart, okay?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I look like I know what I'm doing. Let's see here. What's you said Davis, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me share my screen and let me show you guys what I'm doing. All right, so I'm in here. You guys see my screen, right?
Yep.
You see probate data?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me just show you how I got here. So basically, I did a new search. Start over. I picked Maryland. Hit continue. You said Baltimore City, right?
Right.
And I'm just going to go back a little because I don't know when it was filed. Just because you found out about it recently, it could have been filed.
Well,
Did
no,
we?
I just got the list last week.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
just got the list.
let's do this anyways. Modify. So now I'm going to go to modify filters, and I'm going to go to deceased filtered, and the name was Davis, and the zip code was what?
I believe it was 21217.
Let's see. Okay, so we have two here. Let's see
The
here.
decedent Christopher Davis. The
There we go. Christopher
personal
Anthony Day.
representative Monique.
Yeah. So here we go. Here's Monique. Yeah, look, here's what's going on. So she may not have known that he owned his house. I mean, it could be as crazy as that, right? So here's what we do, right? We check the name of the deceased, we check the address, Baker Street, and then we go across with Core Logic. You see my screen, Joe?
Yeah.
And I see here that it's, owned by Christopher Davis. It was built in 1920. Let's see, date of passing was 8/24, so August. So they filed recently, 9/16. Um, Here you have Monique's information in she's in Baltimore as well. And she's going through it herself. She basically doesn't know what she's doing, right? So she's trying to muddle through this herself. She wants to save money. I respect that. You can be helpful and say, look, all you need to do is don't go into the will and pull all that. Just go look if you really want to sell this property. They won't let you sell it unless you go through probate, and that's why you file for probate. It looks like dad owned this property, and then if I were you, I would pull title on this property. It's easier to do. You can see, when he bought it. I don't have that in here. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
it's in the probate. She didn't list it as a property, but she put the address here at the time of death. So if she wants to sell this house, she might
Take
not
it
even
off.
know that she's sitting on $80,000 worth of property. So
The
it's Christmas
property
for
is a
her.
shell. I already got the picture of it.
Oh, it's okay. So whatever you think it's worth, like she may not even know that she's sitting on something that's worth money.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying. I couldn't figure out how he didn't know about this property.
Hey, you know what? Every family is different. Some families, they don't talk to each other for years.
Right.
All right. So I would
Okay.
just have at it if I were you.
Jonathan, always a pleasure, man. Appreciate it.
Good to hear your voice again. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Deborah Wiley, come on in. No, that was the wrong Deborah. Sorry. Hold on a second. No, I got too many people in here. Uh, Deborah Robinson, of course, you're welcome to talk. I was looking for Deborah Wiley. There we go. It jumped around. Jesus, come on. Deborah, there you are. How you doing?
Good morning, Jonathan. I'm
Good
doing
morning.
good morning.
What's new and good with you? How you been? I haven't seen you for a while.
I know during the pandemic I really didn't do probate, and so I'm back started this year. Actually, I started with you guys in 2012.
Wow, 13 years.
Yeah, I did
Amazing.
the 8-week program, which was amazing. Gave me the foundation to always be able to do probate. Currently, I have a probate listing right now that I just went into escrow with. It's 50% probate and 50% standard sale.
How does that work?
Well, the person who has 50% interest, she is the administrator of the probate.
Hmm.
And that's how she contacted me.
Hmm.
So with that, I'm treating it as a probate, but it's independent administration, so it makes it a lot easier to handle. There's
Hmm.
two heirs that we have to give the notice of proposed action. Once I get the contingencies removed, then the attorney will file for that. So we're doing an inspection today.
All right. Um, I'm gonna volunteer you and put you on the spot for a little bit. You've been with us, like I said, for a very long time. You've also been quite successful in probate. It's understandable that during pandemic, things change. But I do remember you had a very unique strategy, and I don't know if you're still going to use it. And I hope you don't mind me sharing what I learned from you years ago. You had a very unique strategy, and it was basically, uh, so Jonathan, I sit down, I look at these leads that come in, and I pick kind of the neighborhoods that I want to be active in because I want to work with people in my community. And then I look at the cases, I try to get an understanding, and I feel like what's going on in the family, how many are involved. And then I decide like if I feel like working with them, then I'm going to work with them. And then I won't start reaching out until at least I have an appointment with them. And then I just like I do like a couple mailers and a phone call, a couple mailers and a phone call. I think it was 4 to 1 or something like that. and it got you like those extra, I don't know, 8 to 12 listings a year that you shared with us back then. Is that still your strategy? Is that how you're approaching it? Has anything changed? What's going on? How are you working it today?
It's still the strategy. First, I had to produce like 12 different mailers so that I could have different things that I sent to the client. This particular client, she called me after the third mailer. I do realize that it takes time. So sometimes you can mail to a person two, three times they call you. Sometimes it'll be 12.
Hmm.
So I'm in it for the long run. I find that doing the same system, it works and you get
Hmm.
the calls, but it's I mail once a week to the leads. I mainly concentrate on out of state
Hmm.
probate leads. When I pick
And why is that? Tell me why. I mean, I know why, but I want you to tell us why.
because they're not here, so I'm their eyes and ears here. Most likely, they're going to sell the property because they're not here to maintain it. This
Hmm.
particular buyer, I'm in Los Angeles and they're in Colorado. So she came out, this one I have right now, she came out to LA. She emailed me and I almost missed her email because I wasn't checking my emails on that particular email site. And she set up the appointment. The reason she set up the appointment is I added that I give a free consultation on Zoom once a week. And they can sign up and I'll just talk to them about their case, no obligations necessary. I just go over what's going on. But
Mm.
before I pick who I want to work with, I take the sheet and I study it. I see when they file probate, who filed probate, how much the property is worth, what was the distance between when they filed probate and when the person died. It
Why
makes
is that important to you?
because if they filed it a month later, they really need to sell.
Mm.
After the person died, they're in a rush to do something. If they
Mm.
filed it 5, 6 years after the person died, they're ready to do something.
Yeah.
So those are both two different categories that let you know that they're ready to go.
Mm.
This particular one, they filed 2 months after the person passed away. So I knew that that was a good candidate to write to.
Hmm. That's kind of your sweet spot then, like the ones that filed fairly recent, they're motivated. Um, I always like to say, like, it doesn't really matter when the person passed, as long as they file. Like, if someone passed away 5 years ago and now they're like, oh shoot, we're sitting on $800,000 worth of equity in grandpa's home, but and let's get paid, let's sell it, and then they file versus grandpa just passed away, and of course they want to move forward. I think there's motivation on both sides, but the key here, what I'm learning from you is you found your sweet spot. You found like this is kind of like the lane that I want to swim in, so to speak. I like it. I like it a lot. So how many because right now I'm working on some return on investment calculations for like a spreadsheet that I could share with members later. And I'm also comparing like cost of probate data leads versus cost of like other leads like Zillow. Like I don't know if anyone here is using Zillow, but I saw that a Zillow lead is anywhere from like 80 to $150 a lead if you're advertising there or if you're there as a top agent and you get referrals. And then according to NAR, you need about, 3 listing appointments to get one listing, and you need about 15 to 20 leads to get a listing appointment. So kind of reverse engineering it all. Um, it could cost anywhere from, 2,500 to $4,000 to get a listing. So if you're making 6, 8, 10, 12,000 or 15,000 on a commission, the ROI is still there. It's fine. But using probate leads, you're paying instead of that 50, 70, $80 a lead on Zillow, you're paying like less than $2 a lead, right? On probate data. Like, I mean, less than a dollar sometimes, depending on volume. And I'm just curious from your perspective, like how's the ROI been for you just on probate alone compared to other areas where you market and the feedback that you're getting and the return?
Well, probate leads, the costs, like I say, I first I pick who I'm gonna work with because I figure 12 mailings at 74 cents a mailer is $8.88. So I figure that part. Then the time that it takes, I have an assistant that writes them for me. I handwrite everything. I don't do labels. So they feel that I'm personally reaching out to them. The
Hmm.
return is so much greater than if you were to do Zillow or anything like that because the turnaround time is quicker and the response time is quicker, and you're not spending as much money. I think I spend more time on my assistant than what it costs to get the actual lead, like
Mm.
pulling it from probate data and then to start reaching out to the person.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's interesting. I mean, at the end of the day, you still got to do something with the leads. You got to do reach out. You got to send letters, mailers. I mean, they're not going to fall in your lap by magic, you know. So you still have to do something with them, right? You still got to massage them. But it's as you said, you do 12 mailers and you get a response, and you do phone calls, and you're spending like $10 on that, and maybe another $20 with your assistant to put it all together. Even if you spend $50 on an assistant put it all together, let's say you're all in for, let's round it up, $100, right?
Mhm.
Now you're working that to get those mailers out to send out to, 40, 50, 60, or 100 a week. And you're doing that for 12 weeks. It can add up, but it's way cheaper and you have better conversions than anywhere else. Well, thanks, Deborah. So good to hear your voice. Good to see you again on our call. Anything else you want to say or add?
Yeah, on this particular listing, this is the first time it ever happened. She had a lot of things still in the property, and she wanted to wait till November to clear it out. And I told her, look, I can take pictures, send them to you. She wanted to go through her daughter's closet. So I took my time, took the pictures, sent them to her. She would tell me which one she wanted to keep, which one she didn't. So
Mm,
when we went over, we had a total of 11 offers. And when we went over the different offers, now in California, the buyer states what their commission is. So one buyer asked for three, and she says, I said, no, we're limited to two and a half, two and a half. And she says to me, why aren't you getting three? Because you've done so much work. I'm going to raise your commission from two and a half to three.
amazing.
Yeah, that's
Amazing. I love it. Yeah, that's
yeah,
great. That's great. Thanks for checking in, and good to see you here, and let us know how we can help, okay?
sure.
All right, thanks. Joe Pro, you're up next. And if we have time, what I'll do is I'll show you guys how to do an out-of-state search for PR sellers out of state. Hold on a second. Joe Pro, go ahead.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hi.
Um, I, I'm a neurodivergent, just so you know ahead of time. So my brain works a little differently, but I'd like to offer something I ran into through the probate leads when the heirs don't agree to sell or not to sell. So I called an attorney that specializes in partition action. And wow, what a bundle of business coming from just one attorney. So he's been keeping me busy. And then, so now I'm calling other partition attorneys, offering them leads from probate data when the heirs don't agree to sell or not.
What's a partition attorney?
It's where it's an action. It's a partition action in a hearing when it only takes even someone who has a 3% or 5% interest. That usually happens in divorces more often, where it's 50-50. But it only takes a small percentage of ownership interest to file action in the court, and so the entire property has to be sold, and then the equity gets split accordingly after the judgment and the
Mm,
order. But anyway, so now I'm offering leads out of probate data to partition attorneys because they don't have access that way.
that's
And
amazing.
yeah, I knew the little box to open.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm glad. Thanks for sharing that. That's really interesting.
Sure.
I'm gonna look into that. Thanks for checking in with us. We have F. Haynes. F. Haynes, I'm going to unmute you, and then we'll do a. Guys, let me know if it's in the chat if you want me to do a search and show you how to find these out-of-state petitioners. Um, F. Haynes, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Hello, can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Hi, I just wanted to say I'm new. I didn't do anything with the day yet. Any advice would be good.
I have a hard time hearing you. Can you get closer to the microphone?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, let's try again.
Hello?
Yes, yes, we can hear you. I can hear you. Can you just maybe get a little closer to the microphone?
Yes, I have the headphone on.
Okay.
No, what I was saying is that I'm new. This is actually my first live class. And if there is any advice where to start, that would be great.
So you want to know where to start, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Start at the beginning. I mean, so the beginning is always a good place to start. So there's two ways. So here's how we'll finish today's class. I'll show I don't know what your first name is, just it just says F. Haynes. So Mrs. Haynes, I'll kind of go over that with like how you get leads from us and then how to do a search. So there's two ways you get leads from Probate Data. One is you get them directly in your inbox, and those are basically related to, the your preferred counties that you subscribe to. So most of you are subscribing to 3 counties, and then those will be emailed to you. You never have to log into Probate Data, to do it. If you never want to log into Probate Data, you don't have to. We'll just keep emailing you leads, and then inside those leads, you'll see whether the property is available or not, and who the contact, all the contact information. So you have everything you need to go. You have leads, you have motivated sellers, you have contact information. So from this point on, all you gotta do is do outreach, right? So you reach out to them, and if you don't know what to say or what to do, don't overthink it. Just remember, like, whatever's working really well in your regular market, in your regular home sales, whether it's flyers, postcards, door knocking, phone calls, texting, video, whatever you're really good at in a regular market is going to work wonders in probate. Why? Because in probate, they're more motivated. There's a bigger need. With that being said, obviously, if they just filed within the last 30 to 60 days, just go at it a little bit gently, a little bit more, considerate in your toning, and don't just call and ask for the listing right away. So you're reaching out to them, and then you just rinse and repeat, just like what you heard today. This is a great time for you to reach to ask this question. The people that have been with us, like Joe Pro, like Deborah, like uh, John King, right? Those that have been with us for a while that have been successful, they just stick to the rhythm. They just keep doing the same thing over and over again. They commit to a number of mailers, number of phone calls. Eventually, something's going to stick because the sales law is like 86% of conversions, so 86% of like closing for like a meeting or a listing appointment, like in anything else sales, 86% of it takes place between the sixth and the 12th contact. And most agents give up after the fourth contact. So they go look for new leads. And then they stop right literally 3 feet from gold, right? If they just kept digging away just a little bit further, they would hit gold. But most agents, most people, most salespeople just stop at the fifth contact. I mean, look at Deborah. Deborah says, I'm committing to 12 letters. That's it. 12 letters, 4 mailers, 1 call, 4 mailers, 1 call. And she just keeps at it. And she goes at it. Uh, and she's been with us for 12 years, right? 13 years. So that's my first point. So those are the ones that get sent to you directly to your inbox. Now, in the leads that get sent to your inbox, you can go through your spreadsheet. You can see the ones where the petitioner is out of state. So I don't know what state you're in, Haynes. So I'm just gonna make one up. I'm gonna say, let's say California, right? Actually, let's go with Maryland. That was Joe Thomas's case here. But I'll share my screen. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Then you can say, well, I just want all the petitioners that don't live in Maryland. So now you're finding the ones that are out of state, out of Maryland. And like Deborah said, why are they more motivated? Because they don't have oversight. They don't have any idea or what's going on in the local market. That, if you're in Maryland and the property's in Maryland and the petitioner's in Florida or the petitioner's Los Angeles, they don't know what's going on in Maryland. They don't know what the property prices are. They don't know the neighborhood, but you do. So it's really good to prospects for out-of-state petitioners. Those are the most motivated ones. That doesn't mean that the other ones that are in the same state as you, that they're not motivated. It just means that if you're looking for the, I mean, probate is already motivated. If you want to take it up a notch, boom, look for the ones that are out of state. That's a cherry on top, right? So that's one way you get leads from us is we email it to you. The other way is you log into Probate Data, um, and hold on, I'm gonna, there we go. The other way is you go into Probate Data, share my screen, and you do your search, right? So in here, we're in the search we did for Joe before, right? So we found 399 cases. And in this instance, they're all in Maryland. So I want to find the cases that are outside of Maryland. So the way I do that is I go into my filters and I modify them real quick. And I go to my petitioner filter right here. Here's my petitioner filter. I open that one up and then I go down to phone numbers. I want yes, I want with phone numbers and email address because I want to reach out to them. And then I go right here. I go petitioner to exclude, petitioner state to exclude. So I want to exclude all the ones that are in Maryland, right? In this case. And then I hit search. So we're going to go from 399 to roughly, I'm going to guess 30. So not a whole lot because they've been sold, they're not available, and maybe a lot of them don't have email, but most of them are filed within Baltimore, right? So I can play with this a little bit more. Maybe I say, well, I don't want to be greedy. Maybe I just take off that they have to have email address. So I hit search again. So maybe, oh, I got 32. So that's not a big change. So here we have everything that's available. Let's change it even more. Let's get really picky. And we'll see it's even fewer now. We're down to 13 cases where the petitioner doesn't live in Maryland. Now, in Deborah's case, she's in Los Angeles, so she would do California, right? But here you see this is someone in Georgia, Eugenia D. Watkins. This is the name of the deceased. This is the listed owner, so we know it's going to go through probate. This is the last address. The last sale date was back in 2004, so this is roughly 20 years old, 21 years old, this property. Probably some deferred maintenance, right? And then you just go ahead and you start doing your outreach on that. So to answer Haynes' question here, um, and John is saying in the chat, if you work it, it will work. So you work the plan the work, and work the plan, and just keep at it. Look, those of you that are doing well in real estate, you're going to do phenomenally well in probate, simply because you have a good work ethic, you have a good system in place, and you just gotta you know how to work a system. And all you're doing in probate is you keep using the same system that works for regular probate. All you're doing is referencing a case number and say, I notice you're the PR for this case number. So my condolences for your loss, if it's a family member. What seems to be the biggest challenge right now? How can I help you? Is the family all on the same page? Things like that. What's the property? What are the plans for the property? Do you have, is the family all in agreement? What's going to happen next? Open-ended questions. How many sets of keys do you think Grandpa had? Why do you ask that? Well, as a PR, you're responsible for the safekeeping of it. When you work with me and my team consists of like professionals like a locksmith, estate sales, and all that. Happy to share my resources with you if whenever we work together. By the way, have you updated your insurance? Have you let your insurance policy know that Grandpa passed away? No, am I supposed to? I think it's a good idea. You should probably call the insurance. So you're leading with open-ended questions that get them thinking and get them wondering, and then you go, well, I can also help you with that. Okay, so what seems to be the biggest problem right now? What seems to be the biggest challenge? I'm getting a lot of calls from agents like you. I hear you. That's exactly the reason why I'm calling. We're different. What seems to be the biggest challenge? This is stressful. I hear you loud and clear. I hear this all the time. Which one exactly is the most stressful part? Maybe I can help. Oh, there's a mess in there. Oh, so you need help with clearing out the place? Maybe estate sales? Yeah. Okay. Do you know what you want to keep? No, I'm not sure. Okay. So you're not even talking about selling the property. You're not even talking about listing the property. You're building rapport and you have to mean it, just like Deborah does, right? I'll go to the place, I'll take pictures, I'll FaceTime you, you tell me what you want to keep, I'll get the estate sales in, and we'll get it done. Me and my team will get it done for you. So always you remember, guys, you're in real estate, you're in the relationship business. You're not in the real estate business, you're in the relationship business, in case you didn't know. And those of you that are the most successful out there, you're probably sitting and nodding right now. The best deals have come from the best relationship, the best intention, right? Of course, you got to know real estate. Of course, you got to know how to set up a contract and close the deal and negotiate with buyers and push it through escrow. All that other stuff is learnable, but building relationships, leading with the right intentions, that's what ultimately comes across. All right, we're way over time. These are usually supposed to be 30 minutes. We're at 46 minutes. I hope it was worth it for you guys. Thank you all for showing up today. This was recorded. We'll put it up on the class schedule and replays. I'll just show you real quick where that is. It's over here on the left-hand side. No, you don't want to see me. It's over here, class schedule and replays. So it'll be in here, and then you'll see the video. When you click on it, it will be divided into chapters, and you can see kind of the talking points in here. And that's it. Let's see if there's any more questions. You're welcome. Deborah had a raised hand. Okay, Deborah, go ahead. You have another point you want to make?
Yes, just when you get the list that you're going to work with, you have to keep updating that list with the MLS because sometimes they go into someone else gets the listing and you're mailing to that person and they have already listed their property.
Yeah, so that's an interesting point actually. You know what you can do because once you download it from, let's see, your email, we register that you already downloaded, which means you can go in and re-download it and re-look it up as many times as you want inside Probate Data. So because we keep track of the MLS, we'll actually show you which properties are already listed or sold. So you can either check it, cross-check against the MLS, or you can just check inside Probate Data.
How do you do that?
You just look up the case.
And
So
how often do you update your list?
So the first, I think 3 months after the filing, we update it every 48 hours. And then after that, we update it once a week.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Ah, you learned something new after 12 years. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye
All
now.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye.